Girl, let me tell you about Navir. She didn't just become the Empress by accident. She comes from the Trobi family, a literal factory for queens. Her whole life was a blueprint for the throne. Even the previous emperors saw the vision and handpicked her to lead the Eastern Kingdom alongside the crown prince. She was the golden girl of the empire. And honestly, it felt like a total fairy tale at first. She and Sovishu were childhood besties, growing up together with flower crowns and promises of a bright future. The nobles were obsessed with them. They were the ultimate power couple, perfectly matched in every way. Or so everyone thought. They weren't just husband and wife, they were partners. They spent their days discussing the kingdom, planning their reign, and honestly, they seemed like they actually liked each other. Navir was the definition of a perfect empress. She was poised, intelligent, and dedicated. She played the part to perfection for years. She was the rock of the empire, standing tall by his side. It was supposed to be forever, right? But today that perfect picture didn't just crack, it completely shattered. The betrayal was finally out in the open. Navir stands there in this stunning red gown, looking like absolute royalty while her world is literally ending in front of the entire court. And then she says the words that left the entire room breathless. I accept the divorce. Just like that. No crying, no begging, just pure ice. The whole courtroom is in a total frenzy. You can practically hear the gasps echoing off the walls. This was not the drama they expected today. Her supporters are losing their minds. They're ready to throw hands because how could the emperor do this to her? The tension is so thick you could cut it with a sword. Everyone is outraged on her behalf, but Navir, she's staying composed. And look at Rashta over here, acting all nervous and innocent while she watches Navir's life fall apart. Give me a break. Did you catch that? A little smirk. She knows exactly what she's doing. This girl is a total snake in sheep's clothing.
Navir isn't looking at her, though. She's keeping her eyes on the man who was supposed to be her partner for life. There they are, Sovishu and his lover, Rashta. The emperor is actually doing this. He's throwing away his empress for a girl he found in the wood. The high priest is even struggling to keep it together. He asks her one more time if she really agrees to this with any objection. Navir doesn't blink. She's got a plan, and she's about to drop the biggest bombshell this kingdom has ever seen. She confirms it again. She's accepting the divorce. The marriage is over. But she's not finished yet. Sovishu actually looks relieved. He thinks he just won. He thinks he can just toss her aside and live happily ever after with Rashta. Boy, is he wrong. Navir's lips curled just slightly. She's about to turn the table so hard it's going to make everyone's head spin. Wait, what? Sovishu's face is a total picture of confusion. He did not see this coming. Rashta is just as confused. The innocent act is slipping because the script just changed and she doesn't have the new line. The whispering starts immediately. Remarry? Did she just say she wants permission to remarry? Right now? The priest is stunned. The nobles are shook. Navir is standing there like a boss, owning the entire room even as a divorcee. Look at that smile. That is the smile of a woman who just played the ultimate Uno reverse card. The court ladies are absolutely gagged. They can't believe the audacity, the power, the sheer drama of it all. And then a new player enters the chat. A very handsome, very blonde player who looks like he's been waiting for this moment his whole life. He takes a step forward. This is it. The big reveal is happening right now. Just look at that smirk. He knows he's about to cause a scandal that will be talked about for centuries.
He asks if he should come up now. He's so casual about it, like he didn't just walk into the middle of a royal divorce. The crowd recognizes him instantly. It's Prince Heinle. Why on earth is he here? And why is he looking at Navir like that? He walks toward her with so much confidence, ignoring the glares and the shocked whispers of the entire court. Sovishu is starting to put the pieces together, and he is not liking the picture they're making. You can see the panic setting in. Navir drops the mic. He is the one I will marry. Boom. She's not just getting divorced, she's upgrading to a king. Take that, Sovishu. This is the story of the remarried empress. But to understand how we got to this epic moment, we have to go back a few months. Back then, the palace was already buzzing. The maids were fuming because the emperor was out here acting a fool while Navir was trying to keep things running. Navir enters her chambers, sensing the weird vibes immediately. Her ladies-in-waiting are usually professional, but today they look like they're about to burst. They try to act normal, offering to prep her bath, but you can tell they're holding back some major tea. The silence in the room is deafening. Navir is just trying to have her tea, but she knows something is up. The atmosphere is totally off. She takes a sip, waiting. She knows if she just stays quiet long enough, they'll spill everything. It's only a matter of time. Finally, she asks the question, "Did something happen while I was away?" And oh, did it ever. The brushes start flying as they get into it. Apparently, the emperor went hunting and brought back, well, he brought back a filthy woman. The maids are outraged. They're noble women, and they were forced to personally bathe this stranger. It was a total insult to their status and to Navir. And the worst part? Despite being covered in dirt, they had to admit she was actually pretty. Like Duchess Tuania levels of pretty. That's never a good sign. Of course, they quickly try to backtrack and tell Navir that she's still the most beautiful. They're loyal, but they're clearly worried.
Then comes the real kicker. His Majesty seems to be fond of her. The Emperor is doting on this mystery girl like she's something special. Navir repeats it back. The Emperor? She's trying to keep her cool, but you can see the wheels turning in her head. She imagines it. Soviashu, the man she grew up with, kneeling down and worrying over some random girl he found in the woods. It feels so out of character for him. The maids insist that there's a vibe. They've seen how he looks at her, and it's not just pity. They're firmly on Navir's side, though. This girl, Rashta, is playing the damsel in distress card so hard. She's all wide eyes and soft blushes. It's a classic move. And Soviashu is falling for it hook, line, and sinker. He's giving her that soft, protective look he used to save just for Navir. The maids are getting worked up again, telling Navir she's too innocent when it comes to relationships. They can see the danger even if she can't yet. They're just hoping their concern is pointless. But their faces say they know better. The palace is about to get messy. Navir just sighs and says, "I see." She's not the type to get into a catfight over a man. She has a kingdom to run after all. She stares into her tea, trying to process what this means for her and the empire. Is her marriage really in trouble? The maids offer to dig deeper and look into Rashta's background. They're ready to find all the skeletons in that girl's closet. But Navir shuts it down. She thanks them for their concern, but tells them not to bother. She wants to believe in her husband. She looks out the window, trying to convince herself that everything is fine. Soviashu was a kind man, a generous man. Surely he's just being nice. She wants to trust him. She wants to believe that their years of history actually mean something to him. But as she watches them from afar, she can't help but wonder, is it really just pity? Or is this the beginning of the end? Spoiler alert, it's the end.
Dinner time at the palace. But honestly, the atmosphere is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Navir is just trying to get through her meal, but there's a massive elephant in the room. And you know our girl isn't one to sit in silence. She brings up the one thing everyone is whispering about, the slave girl found at the hunting grounds. She looks him straight in the eye and asks, "Is it true?" No games, no beating around the bush, just the cold, hard truth. Look at this table. It's miles long and feels even colder. This is supposed to be their one night a week to connect, and the distance between them has never felt bigger. Soviashu finally looks up, and you can tell he's caught off guard. He wasn't expecting her to be this direct about his little discovery. Instead of an answer, he gives her a question. Who told you? Classic deflection. But Navir isn't backing down that easily. The silence that follows is literally deafening. You could hear a pin drop in this massive dining hall while he stares her down. Navir tries to nudge him again. She's the Empress. She shouldn't be getting the cold shoulder from her own husband. And then he just shuts it down. Shouldn't we talk about other things? Wow, talk about a mood killer. He's totally hiding something. So they go back to eating in silence. But you know Navir's mind is absolutely racing right now. The tension is unbearable. She can't just let it go, though. The rumors are already spreading through the palace like wildfire, and she needs to know where she stands. She asks him one more time, hoping for even a shred of honesty. But the wall he's built up is just too high. Seriously, look at the space between them. It's like they're living in two different worlds, even though they're at the same table. Soviashu is acting like he's bored with the conversation, but his eyes tell a completely different story. He's on edge. He's more concerned about who's gossiping than the fact that he's hurting his wife's feelings. Priorities much? Another long, painful pause. He's really going to make her sit through this entire dinner in misery, isn't he? Navier calls out to him again, her voice steady, but her heart probably sinking. She just wants the truth. And then he finally snaps. The irritation in his voice is like a slap to the face. He's done with the topic, and he's making sure she knows it. Navier just takes a sip of her wine and keeps her head high. If he's going to be like that, she's not going to beg.
She has her dignity. Dinner's finally over, but the drama is just getting started. Back at the Empress's quarters, the mood is just as heavy as the palace stone. Our girl is definitely feeling the gloom now. It's hard to stay composed when your marriage is falling apart in front of the whole court. Her ladies-in-waiting see right through her composed act. They know something went seriously wrong at that dinner. Navier tries to play it cool, but she's visibly downcast. This isn't just a small spat. This feels like a turning point. They're dying for the tea. They want to know exactly what the emperor said to make her look this way. Navier just looks away, her eyes full of a sadness she won't put into words. He didn't say much, she tells them, but we all know better. The ladies are fuming on her behalf. They can feel her pain and they are not happy with how she's being treated. They encourage her to open up. "It'll be all right, Your Majesty. Why don't you tell us?" They're her real support system. So she spills. Sovishu claims the girl isn't a slave and just got caught in a trap. "Yeah, and I'm the Queen of England. Nobody is buying that." Laura is absolutely losing it. She's basically all of us right now, screaming at the audacity of it all. Laura starts listing the red flags. Apparently, her own father acted the exact same way when he started his affair. The signs are all there. Exactly. If it was just about helping an injured girl, why get so angry and defensive? He's acting guilty because he is guilty. The other ladies try to calm her down, but honestly, Laura is just saying what everyone is thinking. The fire is already lit.
Laura gets sent out to cool off, leaving a heavy silence behind. The reality of the situation is starting to sink in for everyone. Lady Eliza turns back to Navier, her expression softening. She knows this is about more than just palace gossip. She reaches out to comfort her, a small gesture of loyalty in a place that's starting to feel very lonely for our Empress. Eliza tries to downplay it, saying he's probably just momentarily intrigued. But you can tell even she doesn't fully believe it. Navier starts thinking back to her mother's advice. Emperors have always had lovers. She was told not to expect him to be any different. How tragic is that? She clutches her dress, trying to hold on to her composure. The tradition of cheating doesn't make the pain any less real. She looks around her empty bedroom and realizes they've never really been in that die-for-each-other kind of love. It was always a partnership. But even with that realization, she feels so empty. A partnership is still supposed to have respect, right? I shouldn't be feeling like this, she tells herself. She's trying to be the perfect, logical empress, but her heart isn't a machine. She reaches for the tea, her hands probably shaking just a little bit. She needs a moment to breathe. Eliza pulls her into a hug, calling her my empress. It's the kind of support she desperately needs right now. Eliza tells her there's nothing wrong with feeling this way. They've been together since they were kids. Of course it hurts. But then Navier's mind goes to a very interesting place. She starts to wonder, would Sovishu feel the same way if she had another man by her side? Ooh, I love where her head is at. Total double standard. She tries to convince herself it doesn't matter. Even if this slave becomes a concubine, she could never socialize with the nobles anyway. She reminds herself of the law. Runaway slaves are treated like criminals. Socially, this girl is a nobody compared to an empress. Navier looks so regal here. She's trying to use logic to protect her heart, thinking the girl will never be a real threat in high society. She closes her eyes, just trying to find some peace. She's determined to stay above the drama and maintain her separate life. Look at this silhouette. They're standing back to back, worlds apart. She's telling herself not to get too emotional about his choices. She remembers her coronation. There can only be one empress in this empire. That's her power, and she's holding on to it. But the gossip is everywhere. Even the ladies in the garden are whispering about how the emperor is personally bringing her food. The audacity. Navier is trying to read and mind her own business, but it's impossible to ignore the whispers when they're literally coming from the bushes. She slams her book shut. Enough is enough. She's not going to sit there and listen to people dissect her failing marriage. She looks out over the garden, her face a mask of royal calm, but you know she's boiling inside. She decides to walk away. There's no point in whispering, air is full of poison and pity. But then she spots something, or someone. Her sharp eyes catch a glimpse of a stranger in her garden. She turns around, and that's when she hears the name that's about to change her life forever. Lady Rashta. And there she is, Rashta, looking all sparkly and innocent with those big eyes. She looks like a total doll, doesn't she? "Hello there," she says, so cheerful it's almost insulting. The Empress and the runaway slave girl finally meet. Buckle up, because things are about to get messy. I'm just staring at her, wondering how someone can be this clueless. Or maybe she's not clueless at all. Seriously, hey you, I'm the Empress of an entire kingdom, not your childhood friend from the village. I need to keep my composure for the sake of the crown, but my eyes are burning holes right through her. My ladies are trying to usher me away, and honestly, I'm beyond ready to go. This whole scene is beneath me. I can't even look at the damage to my dress without wanting to scream. That fabric was imported, and she treated it like a rag. She's still chirping away, acting like we're about to be besties. Does she not see the fire coming out of my ears? I'm officially done with this entire afternoon. There is only so much sweetness a person can take before it turns sour. I turn around again, hoping she finally gets the hint. If I walk away, maybe this disaster just ends here. But no, she reaches out again. Girl, back off. My personal space is not a suggestion, it's a requirement. I hear the fabric tear even more. Is she actually trying to destroy my entire wardrobe today? Because she's doing a great job. Now I'm just standing here, and the vibe is beyond tense. It's like the whole world stopped to watch this train wreck. My lady-in-waiting is stepping in because this is getting way out of hand. Someone has to be the adult in the room. I'm just trying to process the level of disrespect happening right now. It's not just about the dress anymore. The whole garden is staring. This is exactly the kind of drama I try to avoid, and she's serving it on a silver platter. She's doing that trembling lower lip thing again. Give me a break. You're the one who ripped the dress. Why are you crying? Laura is not having it. She's giving this girl a much-needed reality check about who she's standing in front of. Oh, so now she's scared? Please. You weren't scared when you were shouting, "Hey, you," across the lawn. I'm starting to realize something. This isn't just a mistake. She knew exactly who I was the whole time. She says her name is Rashta, like I'm supposed to care. Like a name makes up for being completely classless. I can't help but sigh. This girl is going to be a problem, isn't she? I can already feel the headache coming on. Wait, I've heard this story before. The filthy woman the emperor brought back from the hunt. So this is the famous slave girl. She's stuttering now. Yeah, the truth is coming out, and it's not as pretty as her little white dress. Her little friend tries to claim she's not a slave. Nice try. But the rumors in this palace travel faster than light. I'm just watching this play out, keeping my eyes on her. I'm starting to see the game she's playing. She thinks we're going to be seeing a lot of each other soon. In her dreams, maybe. I don't associate with people like this. Just call me Your Majesty. Let's set some boundaries right now before she thinks we're going to be braiding each other's hair. Her eyes go wide. Did she really think I was going to be her big sister? The delusion is actually impressive. I turn my back for the final time. I've had enough of this circus for one day. I'm going back to my palace. Wait, she's still trying to grab at me. Some people just don't know when to quit while they're ahead. And then, smack. Someone finally put her in her place. The sound of that slap was the most honest thing that's happened all day. Laura is fuming. Who are you calling filthy? The drama is peaking, and I'm just trying to keep my head held high. And then the mood shifts. The big boss has entered the chat. The air gets heavy, and everyone goes silent. Everyone drops into a bow. Great. Just what I needed. My husband arriving just in time to see the absolute worst part of this. Look at his face. He's already decided who the villain is, and spoiler alert, it's not the girl on the ground. He doesn't even look at me. Not even a glance to see if I'm okay after having my clothes ripped in public. He walks right past me like I'm a piece of furniture. The disrespect for my own husband hurts more than anything that girl did. There, don't cry. Are you serious right now, Sovishu? You're actually coddling her in front of me? He's actually comforting her in front of the entire court staff. This is a public humiliation I never thought I'd face. She's soaking up the attention, and he's falling for it hook, line, and sinker. It's pathetic to watch. I'm just watching my husband treat a stranger better than his own wife. My heart is turning into a block of ice. I'm clenching my fists so hard I might draw blood. I have to stay composed, but I am screaming on the inside. I tell Laura we're leaving. I refuse to stand here and watch this soap opera play out for one more second. I'm walking away with whatever dignity I have left. I won't give them the satisfaction of seeing me break. Wait, of course he can't just let me leave in peace. He always has to have the last word. Stop right there, Empress. Oh, so now you want to acknowledge that I exist. How generous of you. I turn around and he's pointing at Laura. My stomach drops. This is about to get so much worse. He's still holding that girl like she's made of glass while he stares me down. The double standard is making me sick. He wants to punish my lady-in-waiting for defending the honor of the Empress? You have got to be kidding me. He's trying to humiliate me by attacking the people I trust. This isn't just about Laura, it's a direct shot at me. No, I'm not letting this happen. She's my lady, and I'm the Empress. You can ignore me, but you won't bully my people. Soviet is really out here trying to prove a point by punishing Navir's people. He's claiming Laura is his subject just to mess with the Empress and assert dominance. He's not even hesitating. One flick of the wrist and he's ordering the guards to take her away, right in front of everyone. Look at that smug face. He actually thinks he's teaching Navir a lesson by hurting those who are loyal to her. Poor Laura is terrified. She's flinching because she knows a 3-day imprisonment in the tower isn't just a slap on the wrist. And of course, Rashta is in the background doing that fake innocent giggle. She's loving every second of this chaos she caused. Navir has finally had enough. She's calling him out for going way overboard with this punishment just to protect a stranger. You can see his eyes narrowing. He absolutely hates it when Navir challenges his authority or calls him out on his nonsense. Rashta is playing the damsel perfectly, clinging to him and acting all fragile, while Laura gets dragged off to the tower. That glare is pure ice. He's basically telling Navir that her status as Empress doesn't mean anything if he decides otherwise. Laura looks absolutely devastated. She was just trying to protect her lady, and now she's the one paying the price for the Emperor's new obsession. It breaks Navir's heart to see her lady-in-waiting suffering. She looks at Laura with so much guilt, feeling like she failed her. Then he just dismisses her like she's a servant, while he stays behind to pat and comfort Rashta. The disrespect is on another level. Navir is holding it together, but you can see the pain behind that composed mask. She's being humiliated in her own garden. She's clenching her dress so hard, you know she's absolutely fuming on the inside. This isn't just a spat, it's a declaration of war. Fast forward 3 days, and Navir is personally making sure Laura is okay. Baths, favorite desserts, she's treating her like family because that's what a real leader does. She's trying to have a quiet moment of peace, but of course, the Emperor has to summon her. It's never good news when he calls for her late. Even the knight looks nervous. The whole palace knows the tension between the royal couple is thick enough to cut with a knife. Navier just sighs. She's exhausted from his constant games and the way he's been acting, but she's not going to hide from him, walking back into that lion's den. This palace used to be her home, but now it just feels like a battlefield where she's always on the defense. And there he is, lounging on the couch like he hasn't spent the last week making her life a living hell for the sake of a runaway slave. He waves everyone else out of the room immediately. He wants to have this fight without any witnesses to his petty behavior. He's actually offended that she's being nice to Laura. He's asking if she really had to go that far to care for someone he punished. Navier isn't backing down an inch. She's making it very clear that she's going to protect her own people, no matter what he thinks about it. He's gritting his teeth because he can't stand that he can't break her spirit or make her act like a jealous, hysterical wife. She looks him right in the eye. She's done pretending that his behavior is anything other than a complete betrayal of their partnership. He stands up, getting aggressive because he's losing the argument. He just wants her to fall in line and be an obedient doll. Navier knows if she lets her guard down for even a second, the high society sharks will tear her and her ladies apart. She has to be strong. He turns away because he can't handle her logic. He's tired of her arguing? No, he's just tired of her being right all the time. He's searching for any way to justify his feelings for Rashta by making Navier out to be the cold, unfeeling villain. She's standing there with so much dignity, but you can tell the weight of his constant insults is starting to take a toll. Another fist clench. She is the Empress of this empire, and she refuses to be treated like a disobedient child in her own home. And then he goes there. He actually tells her she can't even compare to Rashta. Talk about the ultimate low blow. He's so blinded by this new girl that he's willing to throw away years of marriage and mutual respect just to win a petty argument. Compare? To whom? She knows exactly who he's talking about, and it's a massive slap in the face to her entire legacy and position. The door shuts, and with it, any hope of them fixing this relationship. He just walks away the moment things get real and uncomfortable. Now he's slumping back on the couch like he's the victim in all of this. The level of delusion this man has is honestly impressive. He rings the bell, probably looking for someone who will actually stroke his ego and tell him he's doing nothing wrong. He's just lying there, waiting for his little distraction to come in and make him feel like a hero again, instead of a failing husband. And right on cue, here comes Rashta, all smiles and fake sunshine, acting like she's his personal servant just to get closer to him. He lights up the second he sees her. It's so transparent. He wants someone he can control and who will look at him with worshipping eyes. She's acting like she's so helpful, even though she's still recovering. It's all a performance designed to make her look indispensable. She's putting on this determined face to show him how hard she's working to please him. She's playing him like a fiddle, and he loves it. He thinks it's hilarious and cute. He's completely enchanted by her supposed simplicity and innocence. The way he pats her head, it's so condescending, but Rashta is eating it up because it gives her the power she craves. Look at those wide eyes. She's acting like a simple piece of pie is the greatest gift she's ever received in her life. Pumpkin pie. That's all it takes to make her ecstatic. She's really leaning into that poor, innocent girl trope to keep him hooked. He's watching her every move, totally captivated by this image she's carefully crafted for him. He's wiping crumbs off her lip. He probably hasn't been this affectionate or attentive with Navier in years.
Now she's throwing shade, acting like Navier is spoiled because she lived a life of luxury. The nerve of this girl is actually insane. He's actually taking her side. He's nodding along while a runaway slave insults the Empress of the entire realm. Then she does this little, "Oh no, I didn't mean to criticize her" act. She knows exactly what she's doing to poison his mind. Flailing around and acting all worried, it's such a calculated move to make him feel even more protective of her against Navier. He falls for it, hook, line, and sinker. He's caressing her hair and telling her she's right about everything. He thinks she's his prey. But honestly, I think Rashta is the one doing the hunting here, and she's doing a great job. Look at her heart racing. She knows she's winning this game, and that Navier is slowly being pushed out of the picture. She gives him that little glance. She knows she's about to become the most powerful woman in the palace. And while Navier is left alone with her duty, these two are in here plotting their next move against the crown. He's promising her everything. He's ready to make her his official concubine, and he doesn't care who he has to hurt to make it happen.
Okay, girl, Navier has officially reached her breaking point. She's been trying to play it cool, but the audacity is just hitting a whole new level today. Sharing a husband is one thing. She's the Empress. She knew the deal. But this girl trying to call her sister? Absolutely not. The disrespect is real. The tension in this room is so thick you could cut it with a diamond-encrusted butter knife. It's about to go down. And of course, here comes Rashta with the waterworks. She's really looking at Navier with those big, teary eyes like, "Is it because you don't like me?" Girl, please. Navier is not even blinking. She's like, "Sweetie, this isn't about feelings, it's about facts." She drops the truth bomb right then and there. They aren't sisters, they aren't friends, and they definitely aren't family. The shock on Rashta's face? Priceless. Then comes the ultimate power move. Navier doesn't just argue, she ends the conversation. Get out. Mic drop. Later, Rashta's moping around, playing the victim like she's in a tragic play. She's over here whispering to herself that the Empress hates her. Well, duh. The Baron is just standing there like, wait, what did you just say? He can already tell this is going to be a disaster. Rashta is genuinely confused. She thinks because they share the same man, they should be besties. Her logic is literally from another planet. She's sighing and pouting, totally oblivious to the social suicide she's committing by trying to force a friendship with the woman she's replacing. The Baron is sweating bullets. He's like, "You actually went to her room and said that to her face?" He's realizing he's working with someone who has zero filter. He tries to explain that their positions literally make them enemies, but Rashta is just stuck on the "we share a husband" part. It's like talking to a brick wall. She looks so innocent, but you know this kind of cluelessness is exactly what's going to drive Navier crazy. The Baron is reaching his limit too. He's terrified that Rashta's lack of common sense is going to get them both in major trouble. He literally drops his papers in shock. He cannot believe the mess she's making of the palace hierarchy already. His internal monologue is just one big scream. He's probably questioning every life choice that led him to helping her. Moving on to a much more peaceful scene. Look at these feathers drifting through the air like a dream. Navier is out in the garden, trying to clear her head, when she finds a feather. She's curious, thinking, where did this come from? She hears a rustle, and her eyes go wide. Something big is in those bushes, and it's not a sneaky concubine. It's a bird, and not just any bird. This thing is huge, beautiful, and looks like it belongs in a fairy tale. Navier is totally enchanted. She's slowly reaching out, hoping she doesn't scare it away. Even an Empress needs a little magic sometime. The bird just blinks at her, totally calm. It's like it was waiting specifically for her. It's so cute.
Navier's usually so stiff and formal, but she's totally having a Disney princess moment right now. It flaps its wings right in her face. Navier's like, "Oh, you're a feisty one, aren't you?" The feathers are flying everywhere, and the atmosphere is just so light and magical compared to the drama inside. It actually lands on her. This bird has better manners than most of the people in the palace. She starts petting it and notices it's super well behaved. She's thinking a nobleman must have raised it to be this friendly. Wait, she spots something else. Her eyes light up as she realizes this isn't just a random visitor. There's a little note tied to its leg. We love a secret message, don't we? Who is sending letters via giant bird? The note is from a foreign guest, who admits to writing it after a few drinks. Well, at least they're honest. Navier is actually smiling, a real, genuine smile. This mysterious drunk guest is doing more for her mental health than her husband ever has.
Her ladies-in-waiting spot her and they're totally shocked. They've never seen a bird that big, or their empress looking that happy. The girls are obsessed. They're cooing over the bird and telling Navier she absolutely has to send a reply back. Navier decides to go for it. She starts writing a sassy little response. "If your bird found its way here, is it smarter than its drunk master?" I love her. She ties the note back onto the bird's leg. It's so gentle with her, nuzzling her hand like they're already best friends. The ladies think the bird has totally fallen in love with Navier, and honestly, same. Who wouldn't? With a final flap of its wings, it's time for our messenger to head back home. Navier watches it fly off into the blue sky. It's like a little piece of her heart is flying away with it. She waves goodbye, wishing it a safe trip. Little does she know, this bird is about to change everything. And here he is, the mysterious owner. Look at that smoldering look. He's definitely not your average drunk guest. He reads Navier's note and gets this devious little smirk. He's calling her his queen already? Oh, the drama is just getting started.